Greetings, Magic community. I'm Mike from MTG Scribe, and I have a problem. My problem is that I really like making people discard cards. I learned a lesson in Pioneer RCQ season, and that lesson was that Waste Not is not where it is. And I've taken the lesson to heart, and despite the fact that Amalia got banned today, despite the fact that Soren got banned today, despite the fact that I think maybe Waste Not is viable again in Pioneer, maybe, possibly, I've learned my lesson. I will not be playing any kind of discard deck in Pioneer anytime soon. I haven't learned my lesson in Standard, though, so here's my discard deck that I built for Standard. It is slightly different from most discard decks in Standard in that this is more what I call a turbo discard plan. I've got Invasions of Eldraine in this deck. Didn't see that coming, did you? Nope, nobody ever does. So, is it good? I don't know, but every card that I have has evasion of some sort, except for Rottenmouth Viper, which is just genuinely good. So Deep Curve and Bats Fly, Thoughtstalker Warlock has Menace, Hostile Investigator. Okay, Hostile Investigator doesn't have any kind of evasion either, but Aklazotz does. It can also fly. Like I said, this is more of an all-in on the get rid of your opponent's hand as fast as possible plan. Eldraine discards 2 different things, and then when I can flip it, punishes them for doing so. Bandit's Talent, discard. Hopeless Nightmare, burn and discard. Duress, discard. Dreams of Steel and Oil, I think, is an overlooked card in this format because there are a lot of artifacts and a lot of creatures running around, and a lot of graveyard stuff running around too. So the fact that this exiles something from someone's hand, I get to see their hand, and I get to exile something from their graveyard if it's later in the game, is pretty relevant. So I am pretty interested to see how this runs. Obviously, I got Liliana here. Go for the throats. Candy Grapple should also probably be explained. I'm playing this over some of the other black kill spells, primarily because of the prevalence of the Rakdos Fling deck. The fact that black-red Fling deck exists with a Hearthfire hero, which does double damage when it dies if it gets flung, makes Candy Grapple, I think, a lot more interesting. Because if they try to fling something at me, I can shrink it. I also have the option of sacrificing a Hopeless Nightmare to it to get the scry off of it. So there's some value there. I don't think a lot of people are playing Candy Grapple. I know people are playing Hopeless Nightmare, but nobody's playing Invasion of Eldraine, which must mean it's good, right? If nobody else is doing it, I think that's how it works. The sideboard, some more duresses, some more ruthless negotiations for situations where I really, really want them to exile cards from their hand. Another Go for the Throat, some Night of Dusk Shadow in case I come across life gain, Glistening Deluge for Red White Convoke, 2 Shield Druids in case I come across decks that are really good at drawing cards, which I know there's a number of. The Token deck, for example, the Token Control deck is out there. And then Maha, just for another evasive threat. Sometimes I think I'm going to want to swap this out for Rottenmouth Viper, depending on what's going on. So, is this deck good? I don't know. Probably not, but we're about to find out if it's at all viable. So, join me as we go into a Magic Online Standard League. All right, and as is tradition, here we are on the play. I want to give a big shout out. All right, let's see what we got. Oh, I didn't add these swamps. I didn't choose which swamps I was going to pick. This is a pretty bad opening hand, I think. Like I said, I want to turbo discard, and this has 2, but this is real slow. I think I'm going to mulligan this. Okay, I like this a lot better. I'm going to keep this hand. I'm going to put back this Demolition Field. Get Nightmare. We get Bandit's Talent on 2. I get Candy Grapple to sack the Bandit's Talent if I need to. Or the Hopeless Nightmare to scry. Smooth out the draws. Seems pretty good. I want to give a shout out to Magic Online. Being part of the Magic Online program means that I get to do nonsense like this sometimes. If this deck turns out to be good, awesome. Turns out not to be good, that's okay. We at least tried something interesting. So they're playing mono green so far. I don't actually know what they're doing. This is a thing that I don't think I've seen yet. We're just going to play Bandit's Talent. Now, they might be playing Obstinate Baloth. That's another reason that I like the Worthless Negotiations in the sideboard, and the Dreams of Steel and Oil. Uh, Obstinate Baloth only triggers if it gets discarded, and those cards exile. So there's still a bit of a fade because we're obviously not getting rid of the Hopeless Nightmares, the Bandit's Talents, but see what they want to do here. 5 cards left in hand. About to go to 4. Beanstalk Worm. Sure. Next turn, we have Candy Grapple if we want to. We can level up our talent. For future turns, Conduit Pylons. Okay. I have not played a ton of Standard, but a little bit. But this is a deck I don't think I've come across. It seems noticeably different than the lands decks I've seen. So, not sure what opponent is doing. Love to get another discard spell here. Candy Grapple. Sure, that's fine. So we're going to level this up. What do? You put an oil counter on it, remove it to untap target land. Do I want to just kill that, or do I want to wait? I think I'm going to wait. Currently not worried if they untap one of these. Alright, they exile the Rattle Worm to get another land onto the battlefield. Sure, that's fine. And it's a bounce land. And they get to surveil again. Pretty good against this, I suppose. Keeping cards in their hand. The drink for today is New England breakfast tea, which I had never heard of before getting this. It's got a very mapley flavor to it. It's interesting. If you're a tea person, I recommend it. Pretty good. All right, Cavern of Souls. Sure. Naming Elemental. Okay. So this does seem to be a Nissa deck of some kind. Gonna make a bunch of mana. Now we find out if I should have killed this or not. Lumra. That's totally fine. So we kill this now. I'm gonna bargain it. Sack the Nightmare so we can scry 2. Kill this before they get extra lands into play. Hostile Investigator into Thought Stalker Warlock seems pretty good. Yeah, I'm gonna top, and then I want the Investigator first because I can cast that next turn. On the following turn, I can hopefully Thoughtseize with the Thoughtstalker Warlock. So Hostile Investigator here. They discard again. We get to make a clue token. Even though this is a turbo discard deck, I thought about adding something like Psychic Whirl, which makes him discard 2. Didn't end up doing it. It just seems a little slow. And I realize that Invasion of Eldraine is also slow at 4 mana, but if I can flip it, that's a pretty big clock. Plus it dodges things like Lockdown, which I think is pretty big game currently. All right, so next turn we can clue token if we want to, which honestly might be the play. Let's see what they do. I know we have the Thoughtstalker Warlock, but having the clue token and being able to Candy Grapple seems like it might be worthwhile to kill this Rustbind Cultivator, which feels like it's going to be a problem over time. Currently has no oil counters on it, though. I'll put one on my turn. Yeah, I'm not sure. Glimpse the core. More ramp. Another cultivator, sure. We draw a Thought Stalker Warlock. So I think I'm going to crack this clue before I do anything else. Actually, I'm just going to attack regardless, right? So nothing I'm going to draw is going to change me from attacking. That costs 2 mana. Yeah, we're just going to move to combat and attack for 4. I would not be opposed to drawing a land off this clue. Is it just Thoughtstalker Warlock, actually? Or do I want to kill this Cultivator? I think this is a real tough choice. Ideally, I draw a land and can Thoughtstalker Warlock. Anyway, yeah, I'm going to do it. We'll see what happens. Okay, it is a land. We're going to Thoughtstalker Warlock. Hopefully we get a card. We know one of the cards in their hand is a land. Arid Archway specifically. Hopefully the second one is anything that's not a land. There is some consideration to doing this before I attack, actually. Maybe that would have been smarter, honestly. Because I know one of the 2 cards in their hand is a land. Smuggler's Surprise. To mill 4. And that's it. Okay. So we're going to take this Vorinclex, because that is terrifying. Make another clue token. They're going to be able to play a Nissa and a land. There's the Nissa. We know they have a land in hand. Another Glimpse of the Core. Okay, down to 1 card in hand. Um, 2 cards. Conduit Pylon. Rustvine Cultivator. Cast Rustvine Cultivator, sure. You know, Vorinclex is gone. Right? Vorinclex is gone. Nissa's gone. And they played. Was the Pylons gone too? Only have 1 card left in hand. Drawing another swamp is not ideal, that's for sure. So I think we crack this clue. See where we draw. Yet another swamp. Okay. I think I have to kill Nissa here. I'm going to attack with both. Well, I'm going to do this regardless. So let's just do this now so they can't block my Thoughtsucker. I guess it doesn't really matter. But I'm going to do this regardless. So. Finally trading Thoughtstalker for one of their cultivators if that's what they want to do. Sure. Yeah, it's totally fine. Yep, absolutely fine. I want to kill the one with the oil counter on it first. They take 4. I actually think that if they were going to triple block, they should have triple blocked the hostile investigator. I realized they would have lost more creatures, but seems worth it. Take 2. 2 cards in hand. They, why did they put that in their graveyard? Oh, because they surveilled. Right. Sure. Invasion of Eldraine, please. Now's a great time for it. Liliana's also pretty good. 7. So we can level up the talent and Liliana and make them discard. All right, first thing is first. Let's play this out. And the reason I say that is because I want them to discard while I still have Hostile Investigator out, in case they have some kind of trick. Each player discards. Because I want that clue token. Get the clue, they discard a Cavern of Souls. Sure. We're moving to combat. Swing for... They block. Totally fine. Now the question is, do I level this up or do I just draw off the clue token? I think I just draw off the clue token. There's no guarantee they're going to end the turn. Oh, there's a Well of Eldraine. Or Invasion of Eldraine. No guarantee they're going to end the turn with less than 2 cards in hand. So I'd rather take the guaranteed draw. Okay. Down to 6. See what they want to do here. Wouldn't mind a kill spell for this Rustvine Cultivator. Would love to flip this Invasion. I guess I can choose the Liliana, come to think of it. We'll see what they do. 2 cards in hand. They end their turn. Okay. So let's start with having them sack a creature. I'm just going to play this out. Or Invasion. Discard your last 2 cards. And if I attack them and hit, which there's no reason I wouldn't. Yep. They go to 2, and then Bandit Talent kills them. If they had some way to gain life and instant speed, I could have just attacked the Invasion. They would have taken 4 next turn. That way, either would have been fine. I guess I could have attacked the Invasion, and they could have taken 4 anyway. Regardless, we win the game. All right, on to sideboard. They are playing mono green land stuff. Duress is probably pretty good here. Is there anything I want to take it out for? Candy Rebels are also pretty good. I think I'm probably fine. They didn't really show how they could gain any life. Theoretically, to play Deluge, I don't think it's that big of a deal. Shieldred is interesting. Is Shieldred better than Viper here? I think it might be. Is Shieldred better than Aclazotz? Hmm. I'm going to play Shieldred over the Viper in this matchup. See how that goes. We'll be on the draw. This seems pretty good. We want to draw a land, obviously, but we got a 1 and a 2 and multiple options for 3. As long as we draw a land in one of the first 3 draw steps, I think this is pretty good. Edge Maze, sure. And they do get rid of a tortoise, which is pretty good for us, honestly, because we're going to Dream of Steel and Oil and eat that sucker. See what you're working with. Rattleworm is a good thing to exile. Yeah, we'll take the Rattleworm, we'll take your tortoise, and exile them both. And we want to hold this up. Rattleworm is gone. We have a Beanstalk Worm. What is the... Oh, Plant Beans. That's right. I forgot that this is how Magic Online displays it. We play an additional land. Sure. So we did draw the land that we wanted. So now we banned its talent. They discard a non-land card or both of these land cards. Either way, actually, they get rid of the Fatal Passage. So never mind. They discard a non-land card. Glimpse the Core is gone. So they play Plant Bean side of Beanstalk Worm. They have 3 cards left in hand. Now I'm about to take one of them. They get to choose it since we didn't deal damage to them. Oh, they played Arid Archway, didn't they? So we know what one of those. Now we know nothing about what's in their hand. Okay. See what they want to do here. They had another Smuggler Surprise. Okay. Mill 4 cards. You may put up to 2 creature cards, land cards, among the mill cards into your hand. That they played 3, so that's all they did. Sure, we're gonna get one of them at least. 2 creature and/or land. We do want to see what they get. They got Lumira. So we can take that with Thoughtstalker Warlock next turn. Bristly Bill. Sure, that's fine. Well, that's interesting. 2 cards left. We know one of them is Lumira. So I think the plan here is to attack, then Thoughtstalker Warlock and level up our Bandit's talent. They can't block because of Menace. Next turn, they can cast this. We have 1 kill spell, which is not ideal, but we also have Liliana to take care of a second one, so I think that seems good. So let's attack first. Take 2. Play our second Thoughtstalker Warlock. The other card is Vorinclex. Ooh. That's pretty gross. Is that worse than Lumira? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It is because they can cast it. So that is fine. We're going to take Vorinclex. We're going to level this up. You take 2, go to 16. A mystery card in hand and Lumira. They cast the Beanstalker Worm. Sure, we know Lumira's in their hand. We don't know what the other card is. They attack with bristly bills, sure. I think we can be pretty confident that it's not in a land. That is an interesting attack. So they can't block at all. Hmm. That is a great draw. So I can double attack here and Hopeless Nightmare and Bandit's Talent and level up my Bandit's Talent. That's pretty good. Hard to see doing anything else here. Take 4. Play Hopeless Nightmare. Discard a card. It is Obstinate Bailoff. Are you serious? All right. Well, we knew that it was a possibility. That's actually kind of fine, honestly. Bandit's Talent. Get rid of Lumera 2. And we will level up this talent to level 2. So they're going to take 4 here. One mystery card in hand. We have effectively 2 kill spells. They can attack for 11, which is a lot. They play their land, so they have no cards in hand. I guess they can attack for 13. That's fine. Get another land. Not ideal. We have to kill Bristly Bill, I think. So, all right, let's do some math. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We can bring them to 2. So I think what we're going to do is Liliana first. Make them sack a creature. And then decide what we want to go for the throat. They sack the Bailoff. Okay. So we're not attacking now. Play the land. We can double block the Beanstalk Worm and go for the throat, the Bristly Bill. That seems better than attacking. They only go to 2. Attacking with 1 creature doesn't make a ton of sense here. Yes, this is fine. Say go. Worst case scenario. They play a creature, I guess. And we'll see what we draw. They don't. They play Cavern of Souls. Oh, wait. They did. Okay, it just took a second to display up there. Sure. They pump up their Bristly Bill. Oh, I didn't even see the Vine Stock. Whoops. What do you do when you attack? Base power and toughness 3/3. That's not good. So what am I killing here? I can't get attacked by any of them, so I've got to single block. Ugh, brutal. Hmm. I think it's got to be Bristly Bill that dies. You don't really matter. And we want to set a stop on our upkeep so that we can sack our Hopeless Nightmare and hope we can find 2 damage somewhere. Block here, block here. 2 damage or lifelink of some kind. Actually, lifelink's not going to do it at this point. It's got to be 2 damage. So we need another Hopeless Nightmare or Bandit's Talent wouldn't even do it, actually. Go for the throat is not going to help. So bottom. Go for the throat still ends up with us dead. I think it's Hopeless Nightmare or Bust. Well, came real close on that one. The Bailoff is really what got us. If it wasn't for that Bailoff, they didn't gain that life, we would have been fine. Also, totally missed that Restless Vine stock. Not that it would have changed anything we did, I don't think. All right, 1-1. So we definitely want these negotiations in. Dreams of Steel and Oil are great. Not getting rid of the Bandit's Talent or the Hopeless Nightmare. Just gotta hope. Yeah, I mean, we're still gonna have discard stuff in the deck. There's nothing we can do about that. Let's dump. Actually, I think we dumped the Hopeless Nightmare, or not the Hopeless, the Duresses. Now, Ruthless Negotiation can exile anything, but they get to choose. Could also consider playing these Knight of Dusk Shadow. Maybe that's a good idea over these Deep Cavern bets, honestly. At least 2 of them. Or these Candy Grapples. Yeah, I think I'm going to do... Cut the 2 Candy Grapples for 2 Knight of Dusk Shadows. Let's try this. Would like to play first. 2 lands. We got a 1. We got a good 2. I'm going to keep... Question here is, do we think they have an Obstinate Bailoff in their opening hand? If they do, Hopeless Nightmare is a disaster for us. Can wait and Deep Cavern Bat? I think I'm going to wait. I don't think we're really in a huge rush. And if they can play Bailoff, we're just in a lot of trouble. Sure. So hopefully we draw a Swamp here. If not here, next turn. Oh, I can stop. We did draw the Swamp. All right, so we'll play Mishra's Foundry, and we'll bats them. They did have an Obstinate Bailoff, so good on us. I think we're going to take... Do we just take Nissa? So what's our next turn? Our next turn is Knight of Dusk Shadow, Hopeless Nightmare. And this is the closest they're casting to anything. They're coming to casting anything. So I think that's probably got to be the first one. But also taking Bailoff here means they don't get in the life later. I mean, they don't get the creature into play later. I think that's fine. I think we want to just slow them down as much as possible. Take this. So next turn we get to Hopeless Nightmare and Knight of Dusk Shadow. I don't think they have a ton of interaction in that deck. Certainly not that we've seen. Deep Cavern Bat's a good draw. All right, so Swamp. So first things first, Knight of Dusk Shadow. Should have attacked first. Whoops. Hopefully that doesn't matter. Hopeless Nightmare. They're going to play the Obstinate Bailoff. That's fine. I'm not super worried about that. I'm more concerned about the life gain, truthfully. Oh, they Rattleworm. That also makes sense, yeah. So they can... Oh, we should be looking at their hand. Rattleworm is in the graveyard. Worst they played. Tortoise is now on the battlefield. Nissa is under my Deep Cavern Bat. Their hand is Vorinclex, Cavern of Souls, Baloth, and 2 mystery cards. Another Go for the Throat's pretty good, although I'm not going to lie, I certainly would have preferred a land there, I think, so I could Deep Cavern Bats with Go for the Throat backup. But I got to take this Vorinclex. Do I do that first? Is there any reason to do that first? I don't think so. Oh, sorry. Night of Dusk Shadows, your opponents can't gain life, not players can't gain life. So we were good earlier. All right. Deep Cavern Bat. Dismiss, close. Let's see what they got. Yep. 3 lands, Baloth, and Vorinclex. They're going to cast Vorinclex. How much do I care about that? They get to refill their hand. I do care about that quite a bit, actually. I would rather they just have the Baloth. Yeah, I'm going to take Vorinclex here. And then say go. Ideally, we draw a land this turn, so we have double Go for the Throat, or I can Hostile Investigator. Sack a Fabled Passage, sure. We know that they had that. We took Vorinclex. Cavern of Souls, Restless Vinestock, and Baloth in hand. And then, again, 2 mystery cards. Yep, they get to ramp here. No blocks. They are going to play the Baloth? They do play the Baloth. Interesting. Okay. Totally fine with that. They gain no life. With another Fabled Passage. So 2 cards in hand, and we know. Oh, do they discard the Cavern of Souls at some point? Glimpse the Core. Okay. So 2 cards in hand, and we know one of them is Restless Vinestock. That is not in the graveyard. I think we don't know the other one. It is another swamp. Now the question here, I'm certainly going to attack. Do I hold up a Go for the Throat? Or do I Hostile Investigator? Attack for 4. They can do attack back for 7. That's not that big of a deal. I think we're going to Hostile Investigator. Get rid of the Vinestock. So they have a mystery card in hand. We have 2 Go for the Throats. At the moment, I feel pretty good about this game, although I would have said that last game too. The Nissa. Is the other one a land? Well, they have Fabled Passage, actually. Okay. Attack for 3. Sure. They're going to get to mill. And put something into play, and then crack Fabled Passage, which is going to get them to an elf or an elemental in their hand. No blocks. Play the Cavern of Souls from their graveyard, obviously. Make a mana. Reveal a bunch of things and end up with a Rustvine Cultivator. Sure, it's fine. No cards in hand. And we draw a swamp. Okay. So if we kill the Baloth and the Nissa and swing out, they block the Investigator, take 4, go to 6 with no cards in hand. Yeah, I think that's what we're gonna do. Kill the Baloth. Kill Nissa. Attack with everything. I assume they block with the Cultivator. They do block with the Cultivator. And they go to 6, and we say go. Again, feel pretty good about this. So it's not over yet. They do have that Restless Vine stock that can block. They drew a spell, I assume. Can't imagine that they're firing up their Vine stock here. It's another Nissa. They can attack. They do the same thing they did last turn. Sure. They don't, though, because they want to keep the blocker up. That makes perfect sense. I'm not doing anything. I'm not going to crack. All right. We're going to crack this clue token and see what we draw. Another land. Okay. So I think we just... we don't want our Knight of Dusk Shadow to die. Unless Baloth is the only way they can gain life. How big? We can pump this to a 4, so they can double block here, take 6, or they can... This does not reach, right? They can block here, and then they can't block this. We can pump this twice. Yeah, this is just lethal, I think. Can they activate their Vine Stock? Can they make enough mana to do it? I don't think so. Right? They do this. That's 1, 2. I think this is fine. Can't block either of the flyers. This has Menace. This should be 6 damage regardless of what they do here. Nice. That was a pretty good win. I mean, again, their deck was pretty good. They didn't have any interaction really, which obviously helped us a lot. I'm not sure how good their deck is in the meta currently, but I'll take a win. I'll take a win there. All right, see you for the next one. All right, we're back for game number 2. I'm not crazy about this hand. We can Deep Cavern Bat on 2 and have Candy Grapple up for removal. I don't think we can mulligan this, although I would like Hopeless Nightmare or Bandit's Talent or something, but I guess this is fine. They play Fabled Passage. Probably going to see a lot of that. We'll play... Drawing a Swamp is Certainly not ideal there. See if they crack the Fabled Passages. They do, so they're probably not playing a lands deck. Play a Swamp, okay. Witherbloom. They bat me. I assume they take my Candy Grapple. I'll bat them back. Have a little bat off. Good news about keeping this hand. They took my bat. All right. What if that means they have another bat? Play a Swamp. Just going to say go. See what they want to do here. They attack. A Candy Grapple. Get my bat back. Creature, sure, fine. Gotta go for the throat that. They go. Next turn we can double bat them. Hopefully they have nothing big to play here. Another Preacher, but no lands is interesting. Acklazot's a pretty good draw. All right, demo field. We're gonna bat them. See what they got going on. Innkeeper's Talent is terrifying. Also, Liliana the Veil, Dread Knight, and go for the throat. So I think we take. We could take go for the throat and Liliana and leave them with no kill spells. This Innkeeper's Talent is going to be a huge problem, though. Can we race them with this hand? I don't know that we can. Yeah, I'm going to do go for the throat and Liliana. They attack for 2. They get both things, unfortunately. Make a lifelinker, and they get to draw a card. No blocks. He did not draw a land. Oscar Dread Knight looking for a land drop, which they don't find, so they duress me. That's a miss. Another Swamp. Okay. Well, they know it's coming. No sense making them wait. They draw a Restless Cottage. Liliana's gone. Now they have talent they can cast. Good. They go for the throat Acklazot. Sure. No blocks. I'm just gonna dismiss all this. They draw another land. That's less than ideal. 1, 2, 3, 4. How much does it cost to flip this? 3. I can't do that. Oh, actually, can I? 4 Swamp. I can do both. I can't do both. But I can Ether Restless Cottage, which is probably what's going to happen here. They discard Vraska. Oh, so they're the Vraska Innkeeper's talent deck. Okay, well, good to know for next game. Play a land for turn. Move to combat. Swing, swing. They have one card left in hand, and we know that it's Innkeeper's talent. The question is, do I crack this clue, or do I demolition field their Restless Cottage? I think I demolition field their Restless Cottage, so we'll do it on their upkeep. We know the only card in their hand is Innkeeper's talent. Yes. Blood of black, but doesn't really do much. Yes, I would. Go get a swamp. See what they do. They play a land, so Innkeeper's talent's coming out now. And they can level it up once. And they can attack with the Preacher, which is going to deal 3 to me. Is what it is. And they can... Oh, they're going to Mushroom Dreadnought. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Yep. Level up Preacher. Attack me for 3. Attack with everything. Also fine. Block here. $15 all at the moment. Thought Stalker Warlock. Attack with the 2 flyers. Play this land. 1, 2, 3. Transform Temple of the Dead. 1, 2, 3. Play Thought Stalker Warlock. They're obviously not going to discard anything. That's fine. See what they draw here. They level up Innkeeper's talent. That's terrifying. Maybe I should have held the Thoughtstalker Warlock actually to just in case this exactly this thing happened. Or if they draw Vraska, now I'm in a lot of trouble. Swing for 5. Sure. No blocks. Foundry's not what I'm looking for. Let's crack this clue. Vantage Talent is what I'm looking for. It was a Deep Cavern Bat. To make another clue, level up this talent. Gonna play this land. I think I'm gonna wait till their turn so I have the Mistress Foundry if I want it to block. Bat, bat, bat. Swing for 6. They can't discard, so I get to draw a card. That's interesting, actually. So if I wait on it, if now if they draw Vraska, I'm just dead anyway. So there's really no reason not to hold on to this unless it's to have a blocker. I'm at 18. I'm not really super worried about dying. They can gain a bunch of life though. I'm gonna hold it. I'm not sure if this is right or not. They go to 5. Could have brought them to 3. Casting the Warlock or the talent and leveling it up. They draw Vraska. I win. Great. Excellent. So I don't think the Vraska's Talent Innkeeper's deck is quite as good as its press um, has made it seem, but I do think it's legitimate. So winning here is pretty good. What did they do that I'm worried about? I definitely want these duresses and these ruthless negotiations. That's better than Dreams of Steel and Oil in this deck. Since Dreams only gets an artifact or a creature, duress can get anything or can get a non-creature spell, which is ideal. Probably want this go for the throat. What am I cutting? Maybe a Candy Grapple. Go for the throat's probably better than Candy Grapple in this matchup. Do I want Sheoldred or Maha here? Probably not. Nether Dusk Shadow doesn't do a ton. I think this is fine. One swamp and nothing but 2s. And I'm on the draw. I guess sometimes your opponent just mulligans to 6, then concedes instead of mulliganing to 5. Which I guess, to be fair, being on the play against a discard deck like mine, when you're on 5 cards, is pretty rough. I mean, they're playing a card going to 4. I mean, if they just play a land and nothing else, and I swamp and then Hopeless Nightmare, they're in a lot of trouble. So, yeah, we take those. We beat the Vraska Innkeeper's Talent deck. Let's see how game 3 goes. All right, back for match number 3, and we are on the play. Hand seems pretty great. Keep it. One is deciding whether to mulligan. And they don't. They keep 7. Start with Hopeless Nightmare. Discard a card. Take 2 damage, please. Do you need to draw a land at some point in the first 2 draw steps? They're playing the Fling deck. Candy Grapple looks real good right now. No turn 1 play. Interesting. Well, we're going to bat them. What do you have, friend? Gnaw, Lightning Strike, Codebreaker. Let's take this Lightning Strike. They can Codebreaker next turn, but we get to Thoughtstalker Warlock them. Yeah, take this Lightning Strike. Let's be smart and keep their hand up, though. Play Mountain. Okay, I think that changes things. They did not play their Codebreaker. Likely because they want to play it face down. We're playing our Swamp. I could Hopeless Nightmare and Duress them. And save Thoughtstalker Warlock for next turn. Let's attack first and see what they do. Okay, so no removal, it seems like. So let's Thought-Stalker Warlock them and take their Codebreaker. So they have a spell in hand, but it requires a creature. Yeah, and we just win that game. Yep. That makes sense. All right, so what do we want to do here? Candy grapples are great. Keeping those for sure. Probably want this go for the throat. The Dreams of Steel and Oil do matter, although I think we may play two. Yeah, I think we keep it. I think we just play this go for the throat, and we will dump. The invasions probably aren't great in this matchup, honestly. Maybe we'll dump both of those and play a Shieldred. See how we do on the play. This hand is not good. We have to make this. No hand disruption, 1 kill spell, but no creature until 5. This is keepable. We're going to dump the Foundry. If I'm just going to have a kill spell, I definitely want it to be Candy Grapple here. Play a Swamp. They go. There's a good chance we Candy Grapple next turn instead of batting. Or rather, hold up Candy Grapple and let them do their turn. Monstrous Rage, sure. Four cards left in hand. Just say go. See what they do. Sulphur Springs, white bordered. Classy, I love it. They play Fugitive Codebreaker face up. Okay. No blocks. Another Hearthfire Hero. All right. Now we have to do this. Arguably, I should have done this before. I wanted to give them the chance to do something, and they didn't. So, we could bat here. We have 2 cards left in hand. Or we could just save the Candy Grapple. I think we're just going to save the Candy Grapple. I don't want to die next turn. Love to draw something that's not a swamp, though. That would be ideal. I'm going to take 2. Thought-Stalker Warlock isn't a swamp. I guess I got what I asked for. Deep Cavern Bat. Let's see what you got. Honestly, I kind of hope it's 2 lands, which means I can block. Lightning Strike. Go for the throat, sure. Last card is a mountain. Okay. Need them to miss here. Also, I'd love to draw basically any spell. Actually, I think literally any spell in my deck is castable right now. Shieldred would be ideal. Sure. Thought-Stalker Warlock. Discard your last card. It was another mountain. All right, well, they're top decking. We're not quite top decking yet. They don't attack, okay. All right, that's a good draw. Let's Bandit's Talent. We're gonna level up our Bandit's Talent. And I don't think there's any one card they can cast that kills me, right? If they get a Monstrous Rage, this gets +3, +0, and then actually +4, so it'd be a 6/1. I don't think it's worth. It still dies though. Yeah, all right. I'm just gonna attack. I need to start doing some damage to them. I think. Maybe I should have waited one more turn. Aclazotz would be great too. Aclazotz or Shield would be my two best draws, I think. Also, a bat wouldn't be bad. Shieldred it is. So I'm still going to attack with just one of these, I think. Take two. Take two on your draw. Then I need two kill spells and something else to kill me this turn. All right. 3-0. This has gone way better than any of my Waste Not forays. So maybe we can keep it up. Go on to the fourth match. All right, on to match number 4. We are on the play. 2 lands. We can Nightmare. We have a Grapple Up. We have this Rottenmouth Viper. I wish this was a Swamp, but I think this is a keep, especially on the play. Let's get an idea of what our opponent is doing. Our opponent is apparently taking a quick break. So, in the interest of saving your time, I'm going to pause the recording. I'll be back in a moment as soon as they make a decision. All right, and we're back. They discarded Chrome Host Seed Shark. So, some sort of control deck, which honestly makes this Duress pretty appealing to me. And this Candy Grapple a lot worse, but we're going to Duress you. Caretaker's Talent. So they're playing the token control deck. They have one land. I think we take this 3 steps ahead. They have Chrome Seed Shark still. Actually, I think it's a Caretaker. Now we got to take the range. Say go. Desperately need to draw a land here. Definitely want to keep track of their land or their hand. Atticor Wastes got played. Okay. I would love some sort of. Okay, a land obviously is great. So they can't 3 steps ahead. So we're gonna get to play Liliana here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 mana away from Rottenmouth Viper. Interestingly, we could cast Rottenmouth Viper by sacking Liliana if we wanted to, if we drew a land next turn. We're gonna Liliana here. Each player discards. We're gonna get rid of this Candy Grapple. I assume they're gonna discard a land, maybe? Season of the Burrow, okay. So the one card we did not know in their hand. Draw a card, play Shevin Reef. Now they have Counterspell up. They're not going to hold it, they're just going to Seed Shark. That is an interesting choice. We draw Foundry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So our options here are to Rottenmouth Viper, sacking Liliana. So get them to sack Chromos Seed Shark, then play Rottenmouth Viper. I kind of like that plan. Make them sack a creature. Play Rottenmouth Viper. Sack you and you. And then pay 1. Oops. One, two, three, 4. Foundry can go on the bottom. We can keep Hostile Investigator on top. I'm okay with that. Get a Rottenmouth Viper. Gets a Blight counter, and then they have to either lose 4 life, which I assume is what they're going to choose, or sack a non-land permanent or discard a card. I assume they're going to lose 4 life here. They discard another Chromos Sheet Shark. Interesting. Okay. Play Demo Field, so they have 3 steps ahead and a mystery card in hand. So we know they have a counterspell. They can Demolition Field my Mishra's Foundry. I think I just play the Investigator, and if they want to counter it, I'm okay with that. They have another one next turn anyway. So we'll offer this up to them. They opt to let it resolve. So discard a card. That was an interesting game. And now we sideboard. What do we want to do for sideboard? Probably dump these invasions. In favor of Shieldred. The Dreams of Steel and Oil. I think 2 of them get replaced by Duresses. These 2 get replaced by Shelly. Do I dump a Go for the Throat or 2 in favor of these Ruthless Negotiations? Or maybe the Candy Grapples. I'm going to try this and see how it goes. The Dreams of Steel and Oil still have targets in the Seed Sharks. But I don't know that they have a ton of other targets. Is it better to just get on board with Knights of Dusk Shadow than Dreams of Steel and Oil in this matchup? I think I'm going to keep this and see how it goes. On the draw. Duress. Warlock Foundry. That seems pretty good. Swamp. Duress you. I will take your talent. Only one other card I can take in that hand. Unless they drew something. Oop, they did. Great. Take that. Let's dismiss this. And then cast another Duress. And take this as well. Their hand is Seed Shark, Tidebinder, Fountain Port. They opt to do nothing. I think I do the same. So they can Tidebinder here. I suppose if they Tidebinder the Thought Stalker Warlock, that's actually kind of fine. It's just like them discarding a card, only they're putting a creature on the board, which I don't really care about so much. And they don't get to keep it for Liliana. So let's do this. They want to Tidebinder it, totally fine. Next turn we can Liliana and make them sack it. Yep. So okay, it's just essentially the same for our purposes as them discarding. Draw a card. They do cast the Seed Shark and play Fountain Port. So they have one card left in hand. And they attack. No blocks. I like that draw. So let's start here. It was a demolition field. Okay. So I'm going to attack with this Thoughtstalker Warlock, then Liliana, and get them to sack a creature. Which I assume will be the Tidebinder. Oh, it doesn't have Menace anymore. I'm an idiot. Oh, my first real punt of this match. Of this run, actually. So I don't think I play Liliana. So if I play Liliana, Liliana dies. I also don't want to take 5, though. I could just sack the Hopeless Nightmare. That was a foolish punt. They have no cards in hand. I can guarantee kill their Tidebinder. I think it's probably worth it. Free to attack and kill Liliana, which they do. Makes sense. Draw Ruthless Negotiation. That's pretty good, actually. Exile the card in your hand. You have to make a fish. Okay. And they exile and negate. They could have negated that instead. I guess what's the point? I'm not going to attack. I'm going to play my land and just sack this and see what my next 2 cards are. Bat and Swamp. We can do better than both of those, I think. Actually, we can do better than both of those. Maybe it was better to attack there so they couldn't draw off attacking the fish. I guess I could have just taken it and sacked the fish anyway. There's no reason not to go to 15 here. Draw a card. See what we get. Wouldn't mind a Bandit's Talent. Thoughtstalker Warlock is fine. They discard. Another 3 steps ahead. Okay. Can't do anything else. Just say go. Could make this an assembly worker. Obviously, there's no point. They deduce and incubate. Okay. You need to draw something here that isn't. You need to draw a spell of some sort. That's a spell of some sort. Going to attack. See what they do. Do they have another counter? They're casting something. They're going to draw a card. Sure, that makes sense. Okay. And they discard Caretaker's Talent. Interesting. We get a clue, which is great. Discarding the Caretaker's Talent is pretty concerning. Demo field, whatever. They demo field my Foundry. Okay. Now I get to crack my clue this turn. That's a good example of why you typically want to do that on someone's upkeep. They cast Caretaker's Talent. Yeah, all right. I mean, it is what it is. Can't attack here, I don't think. Crack this clue. Hopefully we get some action. Bandit's Talent. I mean, okay. Going to attack with both. I don't think they're going to want to trade here, but if they do, that's fine. Okay. Discard the last card in your hand. It's a roll. Yeah, it's roll. All right, we're going to level you up. Save you. Crack you next turn. They can swing for 3, 4, 5, 7 next turn. They have to be pretty aware of life totals now, I think. Was there an argument? They had no cards in hand, right? Yeah, they had no cards in hand. I was just wondering if there was an argument for cracking this on my turn in case it was a hopeless nightmare, but if they had no cards in hand, that doesn't make any sense. All right, so they can transform both. They can attack for 7. If they do that, they just die. So I assume they don't attack at all. Maybe they attack with a Chrome Host Shield Shark. They do have to do some damage to me. They could also level this up. Although it doesn't do them any good. And they can't level it up twice because they only have 1 white. We're going to crack this clue. Swamp. I would love any spell, please. Go for the throat's pretty good. So I can go for the throat, and I guess Ruthless Negotiation doesn't do me any good. But we are going to play this. Oh no, it's an artifact creature. Oh no, it's not. So I attack with both. They block. They flip this, block here. They go to 5, and then on their turn they go to 3. There's no world where I don't attack with both, I think. I think I just need to push damage at this point. Clock is ticking. I'll level this up to 4. As long as they can't remove my bandit's talent. I get to draw 2 cards next turn. Okay. I don't think I'm missing anything. I don't think there's any way they can block both of these. Transform the 2/2. Means they're going to transform the 3/3 as well. Block my hostile investigator. Makes no sense. I guess they could double block. Yeah, okay, that makes way more sense. They do double block it. Sure, that's fine. I'll kill the bigger one. All right, so long as they don't draw a card, like an extra card this turn, they go to 3. They're on a 2-turn clock at the moment. See what they draw. Big draw step. If it's a land, I feel really good about this game. If it's a card draw spell, like if it's a deduce, that's pretty annoying because it means they get a reprieve from my bandit talent for a turn because they draw 1 and then can crack a clue. Pale life to make a fish. They go to 2. Okay. Currently they're dead. Oh, they do get to draw a card though. So any discard spell now. So I'm going to guess they have a negate in hand. If they have a negate in hand, any discard spell wins because I can, Hostile Investigator from my graveyard. 5. Nightmare is the perfect draw here. So unless they have 2 negates. Nope, that's just it. That's just game. Even if it's a Tidebinder, that's just game. They can't cast a Tidebinder, so never mind. Nice. 4-0. Let's go for that trophy. All right, trophy game. Here we go. We are on the play. And this is a pretty bad hand. I think we have to mulligan this. Second land, probably keep, but... All right, that's not much better, but I don't think we can mulligan again. Throw back one of these swamps. At least we got Candy Grapple early. See what our opponent is on. Hopefully they are not anything incredibly fast. And once again, our opponent is taking a moment before the game starts. That's totally fine. It takes a little bit to get into these. So, out of respect for your time, I'll be back in a second. All right. Opponent plays a swamp. Okay. Say go. See what they do. If they're playing the token control deck, I'm very concerned. I think we need to be put Frontier Seeker. Look at top 5 cards of your library. Reveal a mount or planes. Put them into your hand. Put the rest of the bottom in any order. Okay. They reveal planes. I mean, I think I just kill this with a Candy Grapple and then make them discard with Liliana next turn. Bloodsucker Warlock is actually a lot better than Liliana here. They discard a planes. They play a planes. Cast Fortune Loyal Steed and scry 2. Okay. So now we Liliana and make them sack that. And next turn we can Aclazotz. Can't block. It's got menace. Black up. Sack a creature, please. And say go. See what they do. When they scried, they went top. See what their plan is. They're certainly playing a deck that it appears to be mono white so far. It appears to be some sort of mount deck, which I have certainly not come across yet. So opponent is on some kind of spice. Play a planes. Caretaker's Talent. Interesting. Okay. I actually wouldn't mind drawing a land here. Bandit's Talent. Okay, so now the question is, we want to play Aclazotz. I don't think we plus Liliana here. I think we just get in for 2 and play Aclazotz. Alternatively, I could play Bandit's Talent, discard the swamp, and hold Aclazotz in hand. If they had removal, they probably would have used it last turn. I'm going to stick to the plan. I'm going to Bandit's Talent and level up. And we're going to discard the swamp. They discard Beza. They're down to 2 in hand. I hope we don't regret this. They discard a Plains. Okay, move to attacks. Get in for 2. They go. Again, I would absolutely love to draw land here. They play a creature, I could kill it with Liliana now. I think this is better. I don't think we want to discard Aclazotz. I think the land is not that big of a deal at this point. I think this is better, but we'll see what happens. They get Lost Liliana. So they did have the removal. They can't do anything else. Okay, that's a good sign for us. We draw Invasion of Eldraine. So we can make them discard their last 2 cards. That's interesting. Yeah, we're going to do that. Now the question is Beza and Sunfall. I think I want to attack the battle. If they draw a kill spell, they can protect it next turn. If they don't draw a kill spell, though, we get to flip it, and we're doing 4 to them each turn. Even if they draw a kill spell, honestly, so we get to attack it with Mishra's Foundry. That's pretty good. They drew a spell of some kind. Or they didn't. All right, so we're going to duress them. Take the Eternal Wanderer. We're going to turn this into a creature. Move to attacks. You are going to attack the battle. You are going to attack my opponent. Cast this creature soon. Yes, I would like to do that. Okay, so now they're taking 4 turns just from this. And actually, it's 6 because of the fairies. So that's just it. We're going to win this game. Combat. Swing out. Not going to cast anything. And that is just going to be lethal. Pretty good game 1. Sideboarding is going to be interesting here. They're playing mono white. I think I care less about the Dreams of Steel and Oil, and I care more about the Duresses. And honestly, I might care more about the Ruthless Negotiations. Um, is Deluge at all interesting? Probably not. Invasions get past Stunfall with the Mistress Foundries. So I kind of like the invasions in this matchup. I think I'm just going to keep this. Candy Grapple can come out or go for the throat. I'm not going to play. Do I play like a Deluge over a Candy Grapple? Maybe I play one since they're mono white. Yeah, let's try this. On the draw. In retrospect, I probably should have boarded in the Knight of Dusk Shadows. Because of the bases. I'm going to keep, I think, 2 lands. I can duress and then ban its talent. And then hopefully we draw a swamp to get Liliana out. But I'm going to keep. Opponent also kept. Play a land. Say go. Second duress is not bad. Duress you. See what you got going on. Get lost and destroy evil. Destroy evil can kill a planeswalker or an enchantment, right? So I actually think I want the destroy evil. Destroy evil can't kill a planeswalker, obviously, but it can kill my bandit's talent, which I would like to keep. Frontier Seeker again, sure, fine. Need to draw another swamp in one of the next 2 turns. Thoughtstalker Warlock is totally fine. Bandit's talent is more mana efficient. Let's see, they played a plains. Destroy evil is gone. Their hand is get lost. Is this is just their hand, right? Oh, they played Frontier Seeker too. Sure. They have a mystery card. If I duress them, I get this get lost. Otherwise, I'm playing Bandit's talent and probably getting. Honestly, it's probably the get lost. So I think I want a Bandit's talent here. They could discard both lands, although I don't think that they will. I guess if their 5th card is another land, they might. They discard Beza. Okay, that's good. Swing for 2. I need to draw a swamp here, I think. Sort of an interesting choice if I do draw a swamp. Another Frontier Seeker. That's not a swamp. That's a terrible draw, actually. Well, I mean, I'm going to duress them. They have Fortune now. Can't do anything about it. Yeah, I think we're in a lot of trouble in this match. All right, get lost, Fountain Port, Plains, Fortune. Take the get lost. So they can Fortune next turn. Can't really do anything else, so we're just going to yield and be sad about it. Need to draw a swamp. They have one card. I don't know what it is. Fortune and a Fountain Port in hand. They cast Fortune and they scry. 2. That is going to be real bad. I wouldn't mind a kill spell here. Like a go for the throat would be good. Otherwise, I'm just leveling up this talent, and I'm probably losing this game. Top, bottom. Another duress. 2, 4, 6. Yeah, I'm probably just dead. It's just lands. This is really unfortunate. Like, their hand isn't even particularly great. Their start wasn't particularly great. I just stuck on lands. They attack for 6. They get to flat, or is it both? It and up to 1 creature. So they're gonna get to. Oh, they can't attack for 6, right? Because they have the saddle. So attack for 4. I go to 10. They get to bounce both or blink both of these. Scry 2 and get another creature. Or land. But I do get to see what it is. So I draw a land. I Liliana them. Look at the top 5. They get a plains with it. Fortune, scries. They go top. Yeah, I can't imagine I'm not dead here. Caretaker's talent. Demolition field. Well, we can Thoughtstalker Warlock, I guess. Your hand is Fountain Port and a mystery card. I think we have to block here. They didn't saddle. That's something. Now Liliana's not even good. They can just make a fish. Well, I think I'd do it anyway. You'll presumably make a fish and sack that. Draw a card, which is not ideal. I mean, if I draw a land next turn and I cast Aclazotz, maybe I can survive. I take 4 here, I go to 2. Aclazotz at least has lifelink. I have to assume they have some sort of kill spell at this point. They just... Yeah, they're attacking me. Makes sense. Gotta be a land or I'm just dead. Might be dead anyway. Lauren of the Third Path. Sure, that's fine. Land or I'm dead. It is not a land. So I'm just dead. Just for the sake of it, let's see what the last card in their hand was. It wasn't get lost. Okay. See game. Well, that was a bummer. Really think we were better off there than they were. Is Shieldred better than these invasions in this deck? Might be. It's also possible I have too many duresses and I should be playing 2 Dream to Steel and Oil, given the bases specifically. That's pretty reasonable, actually. Just a frustrating game all around. All right, I'm going to pause the recording until... oh, opponent's ready. Never mind. Would like to play first, yes. See a good opening hand. That is not a great opening hand. Swamp, Duress, into Bat, into Warlock. I mean, it's keepable. Thunder the Gateway? Whoa. Destroy target non-token artifact or enchantment your opponent controls, and they incubate. All right, well, taking this Get Lost. Really want our Bat to survive next turn. Sure, that's totally fine. Go for the threat's not bad. I do need to draw a land again. Destroy target non-token artifact or enchantment and opponent controls. Incubate 2. I think I take a Frontier Seeker. If they want to destroy my Hopeless Nightmare, that's actually totally fine. This pretty much has to be a land, right? I really want to go land. I mean, I kind of want to go land. Yeah, I'm not blocking that. Frontier Seeker. Bandit's Talent. Okay, so we know they have the thing in hand that can take care of the Bandit's Talent. I'm going to attack for 1. Unfortunately, did not draw a land. Their hand is Sunder the Gateway. Well, we're attacking for 1 regardless. Let's do that first. If we Hopeless Nightmare, they're going to discard a land. Or, yeah, they're going to discard a land. If we Bandit's Talent, they have to discard a non-land spell. We know they have at least 2 lands in hand. And if they discard 2 lands, I'm actually okay with that. I think I Bandit's Talent knowing it's going to get blown up. Again, ideally would have drawn a land there, but yeah, I think I do this knowing it's going to get blown up. Archangel Elspeth. Yeah, I'm not sad about that. Not sad about that. Attack for 3, sure, that's fine. Please give me a land. I don't have a lot of good ways to deal with Planeswalkers in this deck, come to think of it. Yep, knew that was coming. Probably should play some Shield Edicts in the sideboard. Land. Oh my god. Not like this. It's just Hopeless Nightmare. I mean, attack and Hopeless Nightmares and get whatever their last card is. 4. Probably take 6 next turn. And it is what it is. The last card was Fountain Port. Take 4. They didn't flip it, so they probably want to crack their clue. It was a land, actually. Okay. Land, please. That is so much worse than a land. It is not even funny. So I'm going to have to kill their 2-1 with one of my Go for the Throats. At this point, I really want. I mean, it doesn't matter now, I suppose. Oh, it does. It does still matter, but land deluge would have been great, but unfortunately, can't do that. Do I just do this now? Is there a reason to not do it now? Yes, there is. See if they play anything. They can crack both clues if they want to. Crack one clue. They can flip the token if they draw something that they like. They do. I don't know why you would only swing with the 2. Take 4. Fortune. Okay. Bottom, bottom. Oh my god. I am so bummed that this is how we're going to lose. They crack the clue. They don't even saddle. Take 4, go to 8. They land, say go. Finally, we draw the land. I am going to cast this pre-combat because if it's a land, I want to get another hand. If it's not a land, then it doesn't matter if we do pre-combat or not. Not a land, must be a get lost. Debating whether to. It was a get lost that they didn't cast for some reason. Weird. could have gotten back their Frontier Seeker. Yeah, I'm just going to take 2 here. Not blocking. Oh my god. All right, well, attacking again. Another blocker. Desperately need a land here. I'm going to pay a life and make a fish. They draw another land. All right, well, we're still in this game somehow. We can get Shieldred out. I think we might be in good shape. Against all odds. Shieldred significantly better than Invasion of Eldraine here. It should be noted. We're going to draw a card now. That makes sense. If our next card is a land, even if they can kill Shieldred here, I think we're in really, really good shape, actually. They go to 7. They lay down Armed Shieldred. That's fine. As long as it's a land, I think we're in good shape. They Fountain Port for... What do they do with the Fountain Port? They drew a card. Oh, they sack the fish and drew a card. Right. It's not a land, but it isn't bad. Actually, if I was going to draw a non-land card, Hopeless Nightmares is kind of the best option. You go to 4. You get to sack one of these Hopeless Nightmare. Go to 3. You get to sack one of these Hopeless Nightmare to smooth out our draw. Did we do it? They draw a card by sacking a fish. 2 cards in hand. Currently, they're dead on board. No, they're not. They can make a fish. Oh, no. Currently, they are dead on board, actually, because I can attack with Mishra's Foundry. Did we do it? I mean, neither of us drew well this game. That's encouraging. So while our opponent flooded out, we got mana screw the entire game. I don't feel bad about winning this game if this is how we win it. Goes to combat. If they have nothing, we can attack out and win here. If they have something, like a removal spell, they don't die. All right, I'm going to go for it. I can't go for it. I'm going to bottom this. I'm going to top this. Play the swamp. Let's see what your last card is. If it's a kill spell, we're going another turn. What was it? Oh, it was a Lorn of the Third Path. Okay, so we just win. With these having menace, even if they make a fish, this automatically gets through. All three of these become lethal. Then you would need 5 blockers. They can only make 4. Block the Foundry. Block one of the Warlocks. Sure. Take 3. Oh, they can sack and draw a card. I actually didn't even think of that. Let's go. Oh my god, that was wild. I will be back shortly with a recap. All right, I have to say, that felt better at every point than Wastenut ever did in Pioneer. Uh, Everything seemed like it clicked for the most part. Even that game that we lost, where I couldn't draw another land, we were kind of in that game until the very end. Like, had I drawn the land 2 turns earlier, we might have been okay. So let's go through the matches. Match number 1 was a 2-1 versus, I believe it was a mono green elemental lands deck, Nissas, Lumeras, stuff like that. Went 2-1. Our loss, I think, if I remember correctly, was pretty legitimate, but won early in the first game, and then grinded out a really good one in the second one. I think we were in the second game, the one we lost. I'll have to go back and look at it. I actually don't fully remember. Um, Match number 2, of course, was the Witherbloom Innkeeper combo deck, where we handily won in game number 1. And then game number 2, uh, yeah, we just won. We just won both of them. The game number 1 was the one where had they drawn um, Vraska, they were kind of trying to top deck Vraska. So that was a little nerve wracking, but we had already gotten rid of one Vraska. And yeah, that one wasn't that big of a deal either. Match number 3 was the red black Fling deck. Um, Again, the second one did feel like a game. Game number 1 didn't feel like a game. We just steamrolled them, tore apart their hand. They had no shot. There was no point in that game that they were in it at all. Game number 2 was a little bit more of a game. We took a bunch of damage. I think we were down to 6 at one point. The uh, the candy grapples were quite good, as I expected them to be in this matchup. This is the whole reason the candy grapples are in the main, is for this exact matchup. And keeping them off of the Hearthfire hero multiple times in that match was just enough to keep us in the game. Not taking that extra damage was all that we needed. Match number 4 was um, the blue, white, red control deck that we played. Um, which one was the one where they just conceded? It lists them as like. Was it this one? Was it the Innkeeper deck? I think it was the Innkeeper deck. I don't know why this is listing it as 8 minutes. But I think this is the one where they mulligan down to, instead of mulligan to 5, they just conceded the game. I think that was this one. So it's sort of a non-game, but it is what it is. The control matchup went really well. And then we played the mono white caretaker deck. One game one again pretty handedly. We lost game two. Um, that was the game where we could not draw a second black source. Uh, and then we somehow won game three, despite again having no lands. I don't know if I should take a look at the mana base in this deck. Maybe I'm not playing enough for what I want to be doing. But yeah, 5-0 in a league. Pretty happy with that. Let's take a look at the deck itself. Give some final thoughts. Um, I don't think the Invasions of Eldraine should be in the deck, honestly. My concern when building it was that we wanted the double discard to rip apart their hands as fast as possible, and then flipping the battle would pressure them in a way that would come from a slightly different angle. And it did work that way in one of the games that we played, but for the most part, we just didn't need it. They were mostly handless, and truthfully, I think that Shieldred should be in the main deck over these. Um, yeah, I think Shieldred does a better job of, if we're ahead, making it more difficult for them to draw out of that. Whereas Invasive Eldraine is only good if we're able to attack it, and there's a lot needs to go right. So I think I'm probably going to move Shieldred into the main deck and take Invasion of Eldraine out. Beyond that, we don't have a way to deal with Planeswalkers efficiently, so I think that I might be putting Shieldred's Edict into the deck. Dreams of Steel and Oil, I think, was really good. Great against Obstinate Baloth. We only came up against one match where that was a factor, but in that one match where that was a factor, it was excellent. We didn't have to worry about Obstinate Baloth so much. The Knight of Dusk Shadow, great in the sideboard. Didn't really come across any kind of Convoke, so we didn't get to play the Deluge. I think 4 might be too many. We might want to drop down. Not totally sure about that. Candy Grapples, again, the whole reason they're in the deck is for that red-black Fling deck, and this takes care of that pretty neatly. Bandit's Talent, unsurprisingly great. Hopeless Nightmare, pretty good. 2 Duresses seem perfectly fine. Hostile Investigators did a lot of work. Acklazats did a lot of work. Even that one game we played Rottenmouth Viper by sacking Liliana, that's the whole reason we won that match. So I'm pretty happy with all of this. I think it needs some tweaking. I think maybe 24 lands isn't correct. I'll have to think about that a bit. Maybe it is correct. I'm not sure. I'll have to think about it. But all in all, extremely happy with this. Discard is dead. Long live discard. That's all I got for you this week. Until next time, good luck. Hope tomorrow's a better day.